What's up, everybody? I am Gandhi, and today this is Gandhi's Thoughts number 66, which is brought to you by Mind Nutrition, the great people of MN in your bottom right. Good people. So, today, first and foremost, my voice is shot. I was doing casting the entire weekend for Borderlands 2, which ended up being super intense. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on. So I apologize for my voice. The first thing I want to talk about is PAX. I don't know if any of you have actually ever been to a PAX, but it's actually really awesome. So this was actually my first PAX as well, and it's kind of like, it's just like all the heavy hitters just come there to all fucking hang out and just do their own thing, and you get to learn a lot. And I learned a lot from the Borderlands 2 guys, and well, I actually get it now, right? And this is what I'm going to talk about today. So first, like, you know how all of my videos, especially in regards to Halo, I've always kind of been like, this is what needs to happen for this to sell. Like, in order for this game to be successful, this is what they have to do, right? I've always done this. I felt like I've always had the answer. I felt like I knew how to sell copies. Like, I did. I really did. Just because, I have 10 years of experience. I've been there from when Halo was the pinnacle to now where it's at now, regardless of how awesome the full production was for the grand finals of the Global Championship. Despite all of that, like, I felt like I knew how I could sell Halo. I know nothing. I know nothing. I do not envy anyone who creates a game, period. They have the worst job in the world, man. Not worst job as in like they don't have fun with it, but to sell copies, it is the most stressful thing I've ever had to deal with. Like, even just talking to, like, it got me anxious. Like, especially when I was talking to the Borderlands guys, like the Gearbox software guys, are awesome people. I just don't know how to do it. And so really what it is, it comes down to this, right? I've always believed, right? This isn't like me. This is a complete new understanding from talking to Shibby and Puckett all weekend long, and the Gearbox guys, as well as some other people randomly around. I used to always believe that the in-house. So when I say in-house, like, let's say AGL sells 160 passes, right? Like, everyone in the community is like, holy shit, that's so good. But that 160 passes only brings in 12K views. Obviously, that's huge for competitive 4v4 Halo, given the tools that we had with just using Twitch and not the dashboard and everything. But that's still not good. Like, the ratio is actually reversed. I used to always think it was like a 65-35. So 65% of the viewers matter, and 35% is like in-house, like people coming to play the game. It actually ends up being like 90-10 viewers to in-house. Like, in-house means, like, in-house is awesome because it has the atmosphere. It has you're with all your buddies. You can tell that the game's liked, that people are willing to travel around the world for it. But online, it's like, it's that concrete number. Online, the viewers, that's where it matters. It's not about how many people play the game. It's all about the viewers. And I've said this before, but I really, like, but with Halo, it was different. Up until Global Championship, it was different because we needed teams to come and play, as well as we needed viewers. We needed teams to come and play because that's how the prize pools actually work for some of these local tournaments. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, however many passes we sell, like, let's say I'm hosting a tournament, this is the model they use. I have to sell 48 team passes in order to have like a 10K payout. Okay, so you end up doing 100%. Now, other leagues do. Oh, okay. Here's a set. There's going to be a set 10K. And we may bring in more money from people who actually register online or whatever like that. So it all varies. So Global Championship said, hey, you know what? This is what you can win. Everyone just come to play. And that's what they did. That's the ideal model, but you actually have to have money to throw around in order to do that. And not everyone has that luxury. So I when I was talking to developers all around, right? Because I'm spreading my seed, right? Like I have to, like I love this industry more than anything in the world. But that's where I'm at, right? Like I want to know everything I can so I can at least have a better understanding. It's hard for them to. It's really, really hard for developers to stay to the roots, and because a lot of people are going to like the state of the roots, but a lot of people want something new. Okay, that's why like Call of Duty had their set formula, and I think Halo has a set formula, right? I think it has. I think from 2 to 3 would probably be the set formula, but even still, like there has to be new stuff coming in. I fully understand now. I get it. Like I fully understand why they wanted to try the ordnance drops. I fully understand why they tried to switch that up. I get it now, because you have to try to. The people have to try to start like grabbing the people from other games, especially Call of Duty. Like anyone here could sit here in hindsight, and I get that. I really do. Trust me, because I've been doing it for fucking hours or for months, and like when I was so funny because I actually wasn't able to watch the Global Championship, all of it at all. I was able to watch 5-5 Ola versus Aaron or Ace, and so it's 5-5, and I'm casting like Borderlands 2, and I'm like, oh shit. There's the 1v1 Grand Finals is on. And I looked at my watch. I was like, oh my god, I know the Grand Finals are on. So I bring it up on my phone. I'm like watching it because I have the Wi-Fi there. And I have a Galaxy, so unlike your shitty little iPhones, I get very, very good quality, bro. Rest in pieces. I'm kidding. I really don't care. It's just a phone. As long as I can tweet from it, I'm alright. So I bring it up on my phone, and I'm watching it, and it's like goes 6-5, and I'm like, okay, Ola, you got this, right? Ola's got it. Like he hits 6-5, and then he's pushing like Red Street, and then he jumps up and he catches Aaron down low, and I'm like, oh no, right? Like I was like, no, Ola, you can't go for this. You cannot go for this kill. And he fucking jumps, man, and I was just like, oh god damn it, you cocky bastard. 40 seconds left, I'm out. And it was so funny because I walked straight up to Ogre 2, and I was like, dude, 40 seconds? What would you have done? He was like, I'm out. I was like, yeah, I'm out, dog. I bolted. I would have been bolted, but I wasn't playing, so it is what it is. They both played awesome, right? And it was awesome to watch. So that's all I watched. So I can't comment on anything else about the Global Championships besides like the quality, which was probably the best quality out there. But back to what I was saying. So when Global Championships was done, I started running down there. So I had to tell Borderlands, I was like, hey man, I'm sorry. Like I know we're going to 6, but I got to get down there to watch these guys. So I'm watching on my phone. It ends, and then I'm still like just heading straight to the venue. So I get down there, I see all the Halo people because I haven't been able to see them at all weekend. Like I saw Formal a little bit, I saw Hines a little bit. Goofy came over to the Borderlands booth. Fries, Flamesword, the usual suspects who would actually end up going to come over there and watch. PJ or Snakebite, whatever you want to call him. And when I get in there, like I'm saying hi to everyone that I haven't seen, and there's like a little VIP lounge up there, and I'm like, I walk in there and I start talking to everyone, and I see Quinn, and I was like, I see Quinn, and I think the other guy's name is Duncan, and I go, okay, what's up? Like, and they're like, oh shit, that's why don't you have a sword, Diesel? So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them for a bit. And they're like, so what do you think about working with Gearbox or shooting the bullshit? And I was like, I don't envy you guys at all. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, you guys have the worst job ever to appeal to the masses. Like, I get everything now. I get it. Like, they have to try to reinvent the wheel a little bit, but I think there's like a certain thing that they can flirt with. I think when you bring back, it's tough, right? Like, I don't know anymore. Like, I don't. I think the fact is like, I don't get it, and that means I get it, right? You guys ever see that South Park episode where Stan's dad gets on the Wheel of Fortune, and it's like, people who annoy you, and it's like N space GGERS, and he's like, I got it, but I don't want to say it, right? and he just says the N-word, and then it's like naggers, and like everyone fucking loses their mind, and he's like, dude, I don't know. And so Token, he like, so Stan goes up to Token, right, and Token's like, he's like, Stan goes, oh, dude, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's not a big deal because, like, my dad's just stupid. And Token's like, you just don't get it. And Stan's like, dude, I get it, right? Like, I'm Stan, and I'm saying, like, I get it, right? Like, this whole time I've been Stan saying, I get it. In reality, I don't fucking get it. So not getting it is getting it. So for everyone, like, I think we can all agree that there's, like, a certain formula that Halo has, but they have to reinvent the wheel, or at least fucking attempt to. And that's one thing I've learned from this weekend. So we can talk about like global championships. I can talk about Titanfall real quick. So Titanfall, right? Titanfall. I got my hands on it for about 15 minutes. Okay. So I had an exhibitor badge, and I go straight in there. I go right in at 9 o'clock. I'm bolting, right? I saw Titanfall played. I was like, I gotta play this. So I get in there. I'm talking to the developers, and they're all pretty actually. The people on Respawn they're actually pretty good guys. They answer questions very, very well, obviously because they make the game, but they also are like willing to talk to you about damn near anything. So we're sitting there and we're talking, and I was like, hey, do you mind if I bring you over here and just you talk or whatever? And so we're sitting there talking, and the movement's so fluid, right? And so I ended up talking more than I did playing. And so then when I was done playing, I ended up swooping back around. And watching with the guy who was playing it. So there was a series of events, right? The series of events in Titanfall. I watched a guy double jump up. He double jumps up into the second story of a building, like using the thruster pack. Backwhacks the guy, and the animation's sick. It's like you come behind him and you like turn his head all the way around, and you see the person's face, and you just push him down on the ground. That's the first one. So you keep running. He jumps. Thrusters off a billboard, starts running on like the side of a wall, jumps into the air, rips a guy out of the mech, kills that, jumps down again, hits his thruster, goes up to another building, and like fucking gets like 4 kills. It was literally a matter of 10 seconds, and he got like 7 kills. It was amazing. I don't know what. Oh yeah, nice meeting you too, Proto. I don't know what to expect. For the competitive side of Titanfall, but all I can tell you is that it is very fluid, it is very smooth, and when you're the mech, when you get in the mech, and you actually have the battle rifle, when you zoom in, it's the Halo 3 reticle. It's identical. So all of you guys who are out there who played Halo 3 and actually know how to shoot that gun, when you zoom in with the mech, you'll be in for a surprise. You'll say, oh shit, like I'm hitting all my shots. Like it's really cool. Very, very, very cool. Now, moving forward here, Call of Duty, I casted COD. No one here gives a fuck about that, so I'm not even going to bother with it. There's the pieces. I had fun. You guys can burn in hell. Jumping over to Global Championship. So, a lot of people like are going to want to know like my opinion on everything for Global Championships, and I understand that, but I can't possibly. All I can say is on my personal side of things, I think. Every time I tried to tune in, I don't know if this is true. I guess the people in the chat here can fill me in. Every time I tried to tune in on Friday and Saturday, I just got that. I got the graphic that was the Halo 4 GC. I don't know if it was just bad timing on me, but that's all I could see. And there was times like I would leave it up and for like 5 minutes, and I don't know how the breaks went. I got to think like rounding up 250 some kids, running around PAX and running around here, getting them on their stations and everything's got to be a pain in the ass. Like I know from MLG experience, but it's much different. So I don't know if there was a lot of downtime. I don't know how it works, but I do know. So Friday and Saturday was ran. I do believe Friday and Saturday was ran by the guys of 343 and other people. So it's kind of like, let's just get this going or whatever, and then Friday they paid the people to actually throw on the production. That's why you're able to see everything you did see. Walking into that venue, first and foremost, you get fucking vertigo, because when you walk in, it's crazy. I would have literally loved nothing more in my entire career than to compete on that stage in front of all those people. Like that is life changing, bro. I would have stopped mid-game and like taken a picture of the crowd. That's what I would have done, just so I could always remember it. It was that wild. So the venue was amazing. Okay, once again, I only saw the last 3 kills of the finals. I did see, but the production-wise, like the jib shot. So the jib is like it's like basically like a little crane. Okay, and there's a camera on the end of it, and that's why there's a guy who controls it. So that's why when it went back to the booth and there was Golden Boy and Bravo sitting, right next to each other. That's why they could like go in front of them and dip up and dip out and then get the crowd shot. It's a really, really cool shot. Production-wise, they set the fucking bar. I think I saw a lot of people. So a lot of people were sitting there and on Twitter, and they were like, "Oh my God, next kill wins? Are you kidding me? Like that makes no sense. Do like 5 minutes, right?" And I get it. I get that. But what you guys have to get, like personally, look, in the ideal world, 100%, right? It would have been to 5 minutes. But so you pay when you get to the big side of things. These aren't like convention centers. You pay a lot of money for extra. I don't even want to know what you pay to go over in a theater like that. I don't even want to know what kind of price you pay, because God knows it's probably something awful. So you have to realize this was not in a LAN center, and you have to pay. The production crew has a set time, so let's call it 6:15, right? Production crew is is not doing anything past 6:15. You actually get paid more for going over after 6:15. Everything's fucking costly, right? So they had to do this. They had, like, the 1 kill makes sense because they had to get in, get out, get the ceremony. They had to plan it. So that's why it happened. And I think personally, like, watching it, I thought the 1 kill was amazing. I thought it made it so much more intense, dude. And when you paint the picture, like, 1 fucking kill gets you $200,000. It's nuts. That is nuts. Right? So, really, the main thing, if you guys like this industry, right? Like, you really, really like this industry. I'll tell you what. In about 2 years, the buzz is going to be esports. Like, right now, it's starting, right? Like, it's coming up and up and up and up and up. Let's see. At PAX, there was competitive Borderlands 2, which basically what we did in the Borderlands 2 booth was we did time trials on the new Jack-O-Lantern Headhunter pack that's going to be coming out in October. God, I said that so much this weekend, so I apologize if it sounds rehearsed. So it was time trials there, so that was a little bit competitive, and we had casters in there. It was me and DeFace. So we're sitting there, we're doing that, right? And awesome stuff, awesome people. So that's one side of the competitive side. On the other side, like if you went right across, it was MLG doing 2 things. They had Infinite Crisis, I believe is the name of it, with the DC Comics. What's up, baby? And then they also had like Call of Duty, right? And then if you went up to floor 6, you had, what did you have up in floor 6? You had League of Legends, which it was so packed that like no one could even get close, bro. I remember on Saturday I went up there and I had my exhibitor badge, right? So go up there, and then an exhibitor badge is basically like I work at a booth and I have like limited time, so let me cut lines. So I go up there and I wanted to go up there and say hi to Rivington or whatever, and like I had an exhibitor badge, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to fucking like show it in the face. I'm like, hey man, I'm better than all of you bastards, let me cut. And I get in there and they're like, there's no way we can even let you in there with this badge. And I was like, okay. And I was like, can I at least take a look in? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And I open up the door and I'm like, holy shit, right? So then down the street on Sunday, obviously, as everyone knows, was Halo 4 in a theater, packed, completely fucking packed. So there's 5 main things going on at PAX, from my personal opinion, with the professional side of things, or competitive side of things, that involved esports. In 2 years, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be all about just fucking esports, dude. I'm telling you. So if you guys like this industry, get in gear and try to get to a PAX. Don't go to an E3. E3 is going to be more for like Nintendo DS games and
PS Vitas and stuff of that sort, right? Like, it's going to be like everyone. It's going to be all the heavy commercial hitters. And with PAX, or with E3, you also have like Spike TV crew coming out there. You have a bunch of other stuff. And it's cool, but it's not the same as PAX. PAX was more like a smaller, not smaller, but it was like more us, right? Like, that's where we belong, was at a PAX, because you could go anywhere and there was talking about competitive. Oh, also, if you guys are into tabletop games, for the love of God, you gotta go, because I thought I was gonna get killed. Like, I walked through, like, I just walked, right? Look at that. I just walked. I'm walking, and I'm like, I'm seeing the tabletop games, and I walk through it, and like, people are just giving me looks like, is he serious? Like, I can't believe it, dude. Like, the tabletop games, I didn't go out to a single bar without seeing people playing Magic at bars, right? Like, I'm talking, there's pulling tables together, like big ass round tables, and just playing Magic the Gathering. Like, it's a different world, man. Like, if you love video games, man, you can go up to anyone and talk to them about video games, and they get it. They understand everything. Like, that is fucking beautiful. And I loved it. I think PAX was definitely probably one of the best events that I've been to, period. Once again, I didn't actually do too much of... I didn't do too much of... I didn't even watch the Halo Global Championship, like, in person there. But it was beautiful. Other than that, like, really, the main thing I learned from this weekend was that I don't get it. And I fully understand now why I don't get it. I think for Halo's sake, I think there is I think there's a formula. I think we all know there's a formula, but we can't, like, you can't get mad at, I just can't get mad at 343 anymore, because you have to do something to gain other people, man. There's going to be so much stuff coming out. Like, Titanfall is going to change a lot of shit. Like, especially on the competitive side and especially on the casual side. Destiny is going to do the exact same thing. Call of Duty Ghosts is coming out, which is only going to keep getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. Like, Halo has to do it, and I get it. But I think the main thing that needs to come back, for me personally, I think you got to go back to the core. So the core of Halo was weapons on map. Okay, everyone knew that. On timers, right? Everyone knew that. I think nade tricks, awesome. Definitely have to come back. Power-ups. This is like the main thing. No more ordinances. I don't want any ordinance at all. By the way, sprint. I think it would spawn. I'll talk about it in the video. Like, so, by the way, so my grandma passed on Friday, so I'm not gonna be able to do videos for probably the rest of this week until Saturday. So I don't want to say like tomorrow, but this week I will be doing videos on like the spawn system and stuff like that with Sprint. But I don't know if Sprint's going anywhere, right? So I think the power-ups, they have to go back to being on the map. Like, I want to have camo. I want to have an overshield. I want to be able to run over it, right? No. Don't. I don't need the sympathy, bro. I was just clarifying, right? Like, I'm not here for that. I don't do that. So what I'm saying is, like, I think when you push for an overshield, like, I want it to be whoever wins the foot race. I don't want it to be whoever hits B and has better latency, right? I don't want to have hosts have an advantage off the beginning. I want camo back on the map. I need a camo. If we can have camos back on the map, we're good. I think flag juggling comes back, and then from there, I literally just put it in their hand. What's up, coach, man? I think you put it in their hands and you run with it. I don't think, like, sprint, with the different spawn system, like, sprint would be okay, but you're gonna, obviously I'd prefer no sprint. Everyone knows that. And D-scope. Like, no sprint, D-scope, nade tricks, power-ups on map, no ordinances, and then power weapons on map, no ordinances. Right? That, I believe, is the formula for Halo. From there, I don't know, man. When I was talking to Duncan about it with like line of sight and like your player. So like when I've been talking about line of sight and stuff like that, your person, right, has such a big spawn influence, but so does your line of sight. So like, and it's actually tailored, and I didn't know it was tailored, but like the sniper has a bigger negative influence, and than the BR or than the rockets, okay, depending on the distance. And I had no clue. I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was just line of sight, period. I thought it was all about the same. So I think when I was talking to Ghost was like, it should be 0. Like line of sight should be 0. And I agree with that to an extent. Hold on, I gotta turn this fan on. It's at least 70 degrees and it's pointing right at my testicles, so it's gonna be nice. Yeah. So I get that, I really do. But at the same time, like it's so tough. It's such a, it's gonna be tough for them. I think they have to literally. I have faith just because, like, you know, the global championship, I think, opened their eyes a lot. And whenever we get those numbers, like, that's going to open their eyes a lot. They're going to say, oh, shit, look at this. With, like, 100 and... God knows what the numbers are, and I don't even know if they'll ever be released. Remember Call of Duty XP had those numbers, and they had, like, 120K on Twitch? And then they were like, well, we had, like, 350, 450, 550,000 people watch on the dashboard. That number was never released. And so I don't know if Halos will ever be released. So we may all have to just take a guess. That's why I wish they had a Twitch as well. If they had a Twitch up there, I think the one guy who had a Twitch who was just illegally screen capping it had like 12K, which is awesome. That's really, really good. But at the same time, it's like, what? Like, I prayed to God. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's got to be a lot. I mean, it was in the dashboard, and anyone. I was just like, come on. It's. I just wanted that definitive number, right? Like everyone wants that definitive number, so we can be like, oh, this is good. But now it's gonna get to the point where it's like, oh, what was that number, man? Are you sure it was that? And we're gonna hear different sources. Like someone told me like 10 million people and it crashed crashed Xbox Live, and I was like, dude, come on. Let me see, hold on, I'm going to answer this question real quick. You're the product Halo 2, obviously the best matchmaking of any Halo. Thoughts on that drawing the casual? I think, I don't know, Arsonist, I don't know if we're back, I don't know anything. I think everyone's fine in the hands of like Quinn and Bravo and all the guys from 343 and Duncan. Those are the really only. I only really talked to Quinn and Duncan. I barely saw Quinn. I think you guys are fine with that. Obviously, I'm still going to be doing my thing and spreading out as much as humanly possible and becoming like experts in all games. But I think you guys are going to be sure as shit fine, bro. It just depends. But I think like the main thing is from here on out, we have to really be thinking about like the core formula of what we want in like Halo 5, and I think they get that. I think there is like a core. I know there's a core, but so back to like the matchmaking system. I think the matchmaking is gonna be tough for a lot of different reasons. So the first thing you have to realize is somehow you have to get people to actually play besides ranks, right? Like ranks are gonna do good. Like ranks are gonna kick ass. Like I personally like I said, man. Like my whole mind was blown this weekend, right? Like completely and utterly blown from all the different stuff that I heard from different developers on how it all works and how like viewers are so much more important than in-house people and everything like that. I get everything. You have to do like ranks. I used to always believe would be it. I think leaderboards are necessity. I think in-access game. Like, I should be able to hit X and bring up a leaderboard when I'm in the matchmaking lobby for my playlist and say, oh, look, here's where I'm at. I'm better than him. I got to go up a little bit here. I think those ranks are awesome. But there has to be something else, too. I think you can't do... Like, Call of Duty does, like, skins. And I think Halo, like, picked that up a little bit, but it was a little bit weird. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. What about Nate Shot? What did he do? I believe it. I mean, Nate Shot's humongous, dude. He's fucking huge. Nate Shot's just about probably the most successful person, and he does it so smart. He does he does subscriber like 8s and stuff. He plays the PR role fucking perfectly. He gets it, man. That's how it goes. But I have no idea what you're talking about as to how. I can just assume that it makes sense. So really, that's really all I have. I'm kind of scatterbrained today, and I apologize to everyone for that. But obviously, I have a reason. I got off a flight this morning at like 6 a.m. and I rode bitch the whole time. But so Saturday, when I have more time and I get back here, I'll be able to elaborate more on stuff, and by then I'll actually have watched the Global Championship, so I can do a full recap on everything of it, and probably be able to break it down to an extent. What you guys should know is that Ola should not have challenged in those final 40 seconds with that concussion rifle, but other than that, I liked it. So that's really all I got. I apologize again, but that's what I've learned from PAX. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy.